if you are already slipping on your New Year's resolutions, it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're weak. It's not because you're broken. You're just trying to do things with the wrong approach. And everyone says you need more willpower, you need more discipline, you need more, more, more. But the reality is you don't. You need a certain kind of system that doesn't cause you to burn out the moment that work gets crazy or that kids get sick or you're tired from a sleepless night or whatever it is. And most resolutions, quite frankly, they're built on the wrong things. You're trying to overhaul your entire life with a heroic burst of energy. You're doing it without vision. You're doing things with a plan that doesn't match your season as a dad. Like there's no shifts in the belief system that drive your behavior. So in the next few minutes, I want to show you 5 reasons that you keep quitting and how you can fix those so that consistency feels almost automatic, even with the crazy kids and work and pack schedule and all of that stuff. Now, if you want a shortcut to all of this, the fastest way to do that is to take the Fatherhood Strength Assessment in the comments below. This is going to assess areas of your life, and it's going to give you a free 8-week action plan based on your actual life and your actual answers to those questions so that you can take action right away. That's again in the description or pinned in the comments below. Now, on to the 5 things. The first thing that is causing you to derail on your New Year's resolutions or any other big change that you're trying to make is the all or nothing mentality. Now, this is the mentality that says, I ate the pizza on Friday, so I'm going to give up on all of it. And this plagues so many men. We love accomplishment. We love being able to be successful at things. We don't like not being good at stuff. And so when we're not perfect, we end up throwing out the towel. We get discouraged. We get down. And so we have to do away with this mentality. We have to have the ability to distinguish between momentary lapses and absolute failure. And so if you do away with the all or nothing mentality, it allows you to go to a friend's house and to have a party for your kids or whatever, and to have a couple of pieces of pizza and to say, you know what, I don't feel great about that. And that didn't go as I planned, but thank God I get to start again tomorrow morning. And that's a mentality that will keep somebody healthy for decades rather than this kind of up and down, ebb and flow, stop and start that so many people are doing. So we want to do away with that. How can I distinguish between momentary lapses and utter failure? We don't need dads who are perfect. Our kids, they just need someone who knows how to recover quickly and move on. Resiliency is the ability to get back up when something hits you and keep going. Number 2 is you're doing too much too soon. And so what happens, especially on New Year's, is we take on the new diet, the new training program, the new sleep schedule, the new Bible reading plan, cold plunges, no sugar, no screens. And it's all starting on January 1st. I mean, to think that we're going to overhaul all of our internal, subconscious, ingrained habits all at once, it's just a recipe for disaster. And so you can't make any meaningful progress on any one of those because your willpower and your focus and your attention is spread thin across all of these things. So I always like to remind guys it's all about consistency over intensity. So for me, what I do, especially on New Year's, but what I recommend other guys do is they pick just one thing. Do it for a week. Prove to yourself that you can keep that for a week and make the adjustments in your week, in your day, the environment, all the things that you need to do to make that more automatic and just focus on the one thing. Once you've got that mastered or you've got at least some progress and some consistency there, then layer on the next thing. We don't need to do everything all at once. And if you could master one habit, then now you've shown yourself and you've reinforced in your mind that you can master habits in general. Mastery is a skill, and we can apply the skill of developing mastery to anything that we do. But the only way we develop mastery is by doing one thing in a focused way for long enough that we actually master it. And you're never going to master anything if you're doing it alongside 12 other new things. So ask yourself, if I could only change one habit that would bless my family and myself the most this week, what would that be? Then grab that one thing and go start doing that. Number 3, your belief system has never changed. We are always going to behave in alignment with our most deeply held beliefs. And so if we are acting in a certain way, but we say we believe something else, we don't actually believe it. We just know it intellectually. So we can always look at our behaviors and we can find their root of those behaviors in our belief system. If I'm doing this, it's because I believe this. And so we can begin to dismantle and evaluate what are those belief systems and how do I replace that with the truth? And as a Christian, one of the best ways to do this is to figure out what it is that you're believing that's not true, that's not aligned with the truth, and replace it with scripture or replace it with the truth from the scriptures. And that way we can dismantle those subconscious lies or those subconscious narratives that are causing behavior that is not aligned with what we actually want to do with these changes. So we want to replace the old belief with a new belief and then continue to stack wins for as long as we can. And the goal is not just behavior change. The goal is changing your story, changing the kind of man that you're becoming. Okay. Number four is no vision, no why. A lot of people have vague goals like get in shape or be more present. And those surface level things are never going to survive the chaos of normal life. And so we need to take time to really, whether this is in prayer or in quiet space and journaling or whatever, to come up with a vision that makes the discomfort worth it. And so without a picture of the kind of father, the kind of husband, the kind of man you feel like you're called to be, the couch is always going to overtake the treadmill or the weights or whatever. And so we need a strong vision. In Proverbs, I believe Proverbs 29, 11, it says that without a prophetic vision, the people cast off restraint. There's just something in human nature that says when we don't have a clear vision for the future, we're not going to have as much restraint around how we live and what we do. And so we need to catch a vision, and that has to be the fuel for all of the changes that we're going to make. And then when we make the changes, we do what we said earlier, which was to make incremental changes little by little and not give up when we have momentary lapses. Okay. And number five is people pick goals that were never their goals to begin with. What I mean by this is you choose a goal because Instagram or your friends or fitness culture or your church or whatever says that this is how it should be. But it's not because you ever truly wanted it or you felt like God was calling you to that. These are should goals. And when you should all over the place, you end up with guilt and hiding and shame and apathy and disconnection. And you pair that with a lack of vision, and it's a recipe for disaster. So, the goals that you set, you have to analyze and make sure, am I choosing this because it's like the cultural norm? Am I choosing this because I feel like I'm supposed to? Or do I deeply desire to see this change? If no one noticed and no one knew I was doing this, would I still want it? Would I still do it? That's a really important question to ask. So, these are the five things I think you need to assess, look at, evaluate, think about in terms of what is consistently derailing your New Year's efforts specifically, but any kind of effort towards change. And so, if you want to look at some of my favorite small kind of 1 minute habits, you can check that out in this video below. Or, like I said, you can grab the Fatherhood Strength Assessment in the comments or the description below and get a free 8-week plan to try to assess what's really going on, what you're missing, and what kind of action plan to put in place over the next 8 weeks.